Hi, my name is Rick, and this is Musicians Edition. Today we will be talking about the tenor saxophone. I will be showing you how to assemble the instrument. I will be naming the parts of the instrument, and I will talk to you about how to care for the instrument a little bit. So let's get going. I want to start by showing you my case. This is a soft case. It's not the case that the saxophone first came in, but this one's very handy. It does have a shoulder strap, so it makes it easy to carry, and it's got some extra zippered compartments, and it's lighter this way also. In order for the tenor saxophone to make a sound, a reed is necessary, and reeds are made of wood, and they have to be moistened or wet in order to work. So what I usually do is put the reed in my mouth and just let it soak while I'm assembling the rest of the instrument. So right now I'm going to put that aside. This tenor saxophone is a little bit heavy, and so to reduce the weight on your hands, you use a neck strap. And so this is my neck strap. Next, we're going to get out the main body of the instrument. And this is the main body of the instrument, the tenor saxophone. This is mine. I have a little compartment here that holds a couple of the pieces that we'll need to use to assemble the instrument. This is called the neck, and the neck is put right on the top of the instrument. In order for it to go into the body, this needs to be loosened. And so first you loosen that, and then you put it straight in. Do not spin it all the way around in order to put it in, because that can damage some of the parts. And once you're done, you need to have this piece lined up with the middle of the neck piece, and in order for this key to work properly. And once that's lined up and it's all the way down, then you tighten this so that it's fairly snug, and then it holds it in place. The next piece that we will use is called the mouthpiece. And this is my mouthpiece. In order for the mouthpiece to go on to the instrument easily, we use cork grease on the cork, which is on the end of the neck piece. And so this does not have to be applied every time you put your instrument together. It has to be applied periodically. You can usually tell when your cork needs grease, and that happens when the mouthpiece does not slide on and off easily. So cork grease is applied. It looks like chapstick, and you can just wipe it around and work it into the cork. And then the mouthpiece will go on next. Easiest way to do that is to grip it, hold the saxophone, and twist it back and forth. And if you have enough cork grease, it should easily assemble. The mouthpiece should be lined up with the neck, and I turn mine just a little bit to the left in order for it to, the instrument can be at my side just a little bit, and my head will be straight up and down. This piece is called the ligature. This holds the reed onto the mouthpiece. So let's take our reed. You should get a reed with your instrument. If not, I'd recommend going to the store and getting a reed that would be a number 1.5 or a number 2. Reeds come in different strengths, and beginners you work best using a 1.5 or a number 2 reed. And then later on, as you've been playing a while and your mouth muscles, called the embouchure, get developed, you can go up to a stronger reed. Anyway, the reed is placed against the mouthpiece, and it should be lined up so that the tip of the reed and the tip of the mouthpiece are just about even. So this is what mine looks like. Actually, I'm a little too far up, more like that. If you can see that. And once that's lined up, ligature should be pushed down at about as far as you can. You don't have to push it real hard, but just make sure it's down, and then tighten up the lug screws. And when they're tight, that should hold the reed on. Okay, so now the instrument is together. I did want to mention the difference between a tenor saxophone and an alto saxophone. The difference is that the tenor saxophone plays a little bit lower than an alto, and the tenor is a little bit larger, and it does have this curve in the neck, goes kind of up and then back down. The alto does not have this curve. It is curved kind of the other direction, so it doesn't go back up like this does. But also the bell is larger on a tenor saxophone. When you're playing the tenor saxophone, I said earlier that you want to have your mouthpiece so that your head is straight up and down. If you were to line the mouthpiece up straight in a straight line with the instrument, you'd end up like this. And I've seen lots of saxophone players play like that. It just looks a little bit silly. So there's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't. In fact, you should turn your mouthpiece a little bit so that your head is straight up and down, even though the instrument is off to an angle at your side. The neck strap should be adjusted so that it is comfortable for you, so that when you place the mouthpiece and reed into your mouth, you don't have to bend down like that, raise your head up, or anything like that in order to reach the mouthpiece. And next lesson we will get into making a sound, but since it's together, I'll just play a little bit for you. When you are done playing the saxophone, then putting the instrument away is an important part of taking care of the instrument. So the first thing that I always do is take off the reed. Let me talk just a little bit more about reeds. Reeds are made of wood. There are synthetic reeds that are made of synthetic material that do not break or warp. They have been improved a lot over the years. They are more expensive, but they last longer. I don't use synthetic reeds, but I don't have anything against them. If you want to try one, it's a good idea. As I said, they do last longer. Wooden reeds do break, chip, warp, things like that, because they are made of wood. But they have a very authentic sound, and traditionally saxophones have always been played with wooden reeds. That's why we use wood. But anyway, when you're putting your reed away, it's going to be wet, still moist, and this is a reed case that keeps the reed flat and keeps it protected. So it should always be placed in this reed so that it can dry flat, so then next time you take it out and use it, it will be ready to go. Next, the mouthpiece comes off, and you will want to clean your instrument when you are done playing it, because your moisture from your mouth and from your body is going to get into the instrument, and over time, if it's not cleaned, it'll get dirty, it'll get gross. I've seen mold growing inside instruments, and that is not something you want to do. So I have some cloths and things like that I use to wipe out my mouthpiece. You can also wash your mouthpiece in the sink with soap and water, and I recommend doing that every once in a while. Mouthpiece is put away. Next, before you disassemble the neck piece, make sure you loosen it. If you do not loosen it, it will get stripped and it won't work so as well. So make sure you loosen that and then twist it back and forth. Again, not all the way around, but just part back and forth until it comes off. And I have a little cleaning swab here for my neck piece. There's a weight at this end and a cloth at the other end. So if I drop the weight into the neck piece and it comes out the other end, and you can just pull it through and it'll get a lot of the moisture off. And then my neck piece goes into this container. Along with my mouthpiece. For cleaning the main body of the instrument, there's a couple of ways. One would be to use a swab like I just used with a weight, but there would have to be a lot longer string at the end. But I have this, which I put inside of the instrument when I am done, and then leave it there, and it takes the moisture away from the pads and the inside of the instrument. And then goes back in, ready to go for next time. So thanks for watching. Our next lesson will include how to make a sound on the instrument, and we'll get into one of the method books. Thanks for watching.